Hello everyone, my name is Ernesto, a full-time nurse and aspiring junior programmer, and welcome to Pawfect Match. What we wanted to achieve is to provide users with personalized dog breed recommendations based on their preferences and lifestyle while creating an engaging and user-friendly experience, hoping that with this, we will find you your perfect furry companion. Here to show you how Pawfect Match works. At the topmost right corner of the page, you can find the four main sections, which is the home, the dashboard, login, sign up, and log out. Now, why don't we try signing in and see what's in store for you? On the sign in page, you have the option to put in your email address and a password. Alternatively, you can log in with Google. If you don't have any accounts, at the bottom section, you can register. And if by any case you have forgotten your password, you can also reset your password through here as well. Since I've already signed up under Google, I'll be logging in with my Google account. It will direct me straight towards the dashboard. And as you can see, it's a bit empty at the moment as I have not saved any favorites yet. Why don't we answer some questionnaires and find out what is the most appropriate breed for my lifestyle? You can find the questionnaires right on the home page and by clicking here to start. First question will be, will you and your pup have an active lifestyle? A mix of average and long walks? How much outdoor space do you have? Unfortunately, I do not have any outdoor space. How much indoor space do you have? I'll choose the middle one. Do you have children? No, not at the moment. Do you have other dogs? No, but maybe one day. What level of training you give them? And probably just the basic. How friendly should they be? Now I want a friendly dog. I want them to be friendly with everyone. How much time can you spend grooming your dog? Now time is of the essence, and unfortunately I lack time. So possibly groom them a couple of times a week. Does shedding bother you? A little shedding is okay. A little barking is okay as well. And drooling is okay. And then you click submit. And upon clicking submit, it'll prompt you the results. And at the bottom you can see the appropriate breeds for me are Swedish Lapphund, a Boston Terrier, and a Boxer. And I think the Swedish Lapphund is very cute. So I'll add it to my favorites. And upon adding it to my favorites, when I go to my own dashboard, you can see that it's already included in my favorites. If you would want, you can always go back to the home page and start another set of questionnaires, or you can even have your friends try them. And that's about it for Pawfect Match. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Abby, and I'm going to take you through some of the front end of our project. So on the screen you can see some of the tech that we used. We decided to build it using React and React Router to make a single page web application. We used Axios to make requests to the backend. We used the React Toastify library for user notifications, and we styled with CSS. This snippet shows how we structured our project with a source folder containing a folder for components, styles, tests, and a utilities folder. Each component had a corresponding CSS and test file. This snippet shows our Axios request to the API. We sent a parameter to the API, which returned dog breeds. To give us the biggest selection of data, we added an offset to make multiple API calls. We then filtered over the results using the user responses to the questionnaire. This snippet shows the code for the first question component. We detailed the questions for the user, and their response would set the energy parameter value, which we sent to the API. This snippet shows the code for the questionnaire component. When the user clicks submit, the breed results are displayed. To make it more user-friendly, we displayed one question at a time with the next and previous button so that the user could change any answers before submitting.
Hello, my name is Greg. So I'll be talking about our backend, and we decided to use Firestore as a backend as a service. So as you saw earlier, the firebase.js file is in the source directory, and after we've imported all the Firebase, it's all from Firestore methods. We set up the Firebase config, and we've done this using environment variables to securely store the sensitive information such as the API keys. After we've set up that Firebase config, we then initialize the Firebase app using that config, and then instances of the authentication and Firestore databases are obtained. Next, a Google Auth provider instance is created for Google sign-in authentication. The sign-in with Google function is an asynchronous function which attempts to sign in the user using a pop-up window. If it's successful, it checks if a user document with the same UID exists in the Firestore, and if not, then a new user document is created. Then we have login with email and password. This function is asynchronous and it attempts to log in the user with the provided email and password, and if there's an error, the error message is displayed using Toast. Then we have register with email and password. Again, it's asynchronous and it creates a new user account using the provided email and password, and if it's successful, it then creates a new user document in the Firestore. Send password reset sends a password reset email to the provided email address using Firebase authentication. And then we have our add to fave function. Now this allows a logged in user to add a breed to their favorites. So it checks if the breed already exists in the user's favorites collection in Firestore, and it will add a new document if it doesn't. Then we have get faves, which retrieves the favorites of the currently logged in user by querying the Firestore database. All these functions are then exported from the Firebase.js file, and they are imported into the various components that they are used in, such as register and login.
So this slide goes through our ways of working during the project. We used Figma to agree on our project requirements, including what the minimum viable product was, what the app looked like, and what resources we could use. We then used Trello to set up a Kanban workflow with detailed tickets, which we updated regularly throughout the project to keep track of what was left to do. We used Slack for communication, and we had regular planned coding sessions together using Google Meet. And lastly, we used mob programming to work together on some of the trickier problems that we came across. And using these tools helped us work effectively and deliver the project on time.
The problems and challenges that the group have faced were learning to use new tech. This is overcome by pair programming, mob programming, and additional support from tutors and documentations in the past. Another problem is learning to use the API effectively, initially using lots of params, but too limited, sometimes less params and filter responses, and then using offset to get more results. And additionally, time constraints. We have used all communication tools that we have, like Slack, Trello, Figma, and Google Meets. Now, if we had more time, we'd be focusing on refactoring the code to make the program smoother, additional tests as well, and at the same time, a more efficient database structure.
And finally, to say cheers, thank you to all the tutors at Command Shift, and thank you all for listening to our presentation.